Overtone matching. So I'm going to match middle F and some of the other pitches where I'm going to play the standard fingering, the overtone fingering, and just alternate. So here's middle F. That's the standard fingering. Here's the overtone. And it's interesting because I like middle F because you get the, when you're playing, you're fingering low B flat, that whole saxophone is resonating, and that's the feel you're trying to get when you play middle F with the standard fingering. So here's the overtone. Necessarily matching the intonation so much. I mean, the overtones do have some, depending on the acoustics of your horn, they have some idiosyncrasies, but you're trying to match the feel more than anything. F sharp. Getting a little tight in my embouchure there, kind of pinching that off. When in doubt, take more mouthpiece. Of course, G is the fundamental from C, and then A flat is off of C sharp. Middle C sharp. And actually middle C sharp is a really good one to work on because what a lot of times you find is like when you have all your keys down you get that whole saxophone resonating. Well, open C sharp is the complete opposite. That's like the least amount of saxophone that's being used to produce the sound before it can escape through the keys. So I'll do some more middle C sharp. And actually, I really like the sound of the middle C sharp on the saxophone. That's one thing, it tends to be a stuffy note, middle C sharp, middle D sometimes on horns, and doing these overtone matching exercises helps with any stuffiness that you're experiencing. And that's just something I do a lot of is interval practice where I do like fifths and arpeggios and stuff. And again, that's a good thing to keep your embouchure consistent. I know it's not an overtone thing, but when I find I'm starting to get wonky with the pressure on my embouchure and my intonation getting bad, I go back to the intervals because that really helps. So I was having problems with A, so I'm going to go back to A again. Notice how sharp my high E was. That's another one. I gotta make sure you're hearing what the note's supposed to sound like before you actually play it. But I mean, that's kind of the basic warm-up things that I do, other than, you know, your scales. You know, my favorite scales books were the Marcel Mule, so it's the books 1, 2, and 3. start to get into altissimo, you find you venting and things to fix your intonation. My high G is always a little under pitch if I don't add G sharp. So.